This is how you recover from porn addiction. And not only stop watching it and then resist cravings, but to alleviate cravings, do more productive things with your time, and therefore, as an indirect consequence of you quitting porn and listening to me doing the steps I am going to show you, you will have a more productive, more enjoyable, and a more satisfying life. Everybody is in a different stage of porn addiction, porn habit, so what I have done here is created something that can be tailored a little bit, and I will say where some time can be added or taken away inside of this 8-week recovery program. So guys, the first week, this is how it starts. You need to start reducing the amount that you watch porn. There are 2 easy tools to use to help you reduce watching porn. The first, start implementing some of the habits that I have talked about, specifically working out, meditation, and breathing exercises. So what I need you to do is measure how much you watch porn, or think of a number that is usually true for your normal average week. Think of a number, how much do you usually watch porn, and reduce it by 50%. Now, if your porn addiction is very bad and you feel like 50% is way too much and you don't feel confident hearing this, what I want you to do is reduce your porn usage by 25% in the first week and add another week after that, which you will also call week 1, and also reduce your porn usage by 20 to 25%. Basically, it needs to be a number, so you cannot watch 1.2 times a week or 5.2 times a week. It has to be an even number. Start utilizing the tools that I've given you. If you're already working out, increase the amount that you work out. Use breathing exercises and start learning how to meditate. The tools that you learn this week will help you to go even harder and even faster during future weeks. You will have an easier time later because you have already started learning these tools. Also, learning them will help you to more effortlessly reduce your porn usage. So, week number 2, you need to start scheduling. You need to schedule your porn use instead of listening to your emotions, feelings, and impulses to watch porn. Depending on how much you watch porn at the end of week 1, aim for something like 2 to 3 times a week of porn usage for week 2. Obviously, if you're at the end of week 1 already at once a week, you don't have to watch porn 2 times a week. You can just continue with 1 time a week. And if you're at 4 or more times at the end of week 1, I want you to do another week 1 where you further reduce your porn usage. And after that, you can do 2 or 3 times a week on week 2, but this time you must schedule it. You have to set a time and set a date. You cannot set it like 30 minutes before. You have to know the day before, so before you go to bed, if the next day you will be watching porn or not. You have to decide. I recommend you to decide on Monday. Let's say you decide on Monday that you will watch porn on Tuesday and on Thursday. That would be a realistic thing. Or on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Saturday. That is also like a realistic routine. Make sure it is even, unless you want to do something else, I don't know. I recommend you to spread it evenly. While you are doing this, I want you to start measuring how many habits you are doing on a daily basis. I would like you to start using a habit tracker, one that you print out, just like this. And you can track how many times you are working out, how many times you are meditating, how many times you do breathing exercises, and if you are watching porn or not. So, this week is crucial because of 2 reasons. First, you are going to start implementing the basics of measuring your life. And 2, you will be training your own mind to resist the impulses and make sure that you act based on your previous decisions. This is something that is missing from NoFap and is crucial when it's time to give up a bad habit that can be so impulse driven. In case you are unable to control your impulses, in case you watch porn more or at a different time than planned, you will have to restart week 2 each time. On week 3, you are at the next level. Now it's time to start reducing that dopamine that you get when you are watching porn and when you're ejaculating. I don't have any science why this works, but I know because I talked to many people who were extremely successful with NoFap, and I have learned from my own experience that if you reduce the intensity of pornographic material that you watch before attempting a streak or attempting to start recovery from porn in this case, you will have a much easier time dealing with your urges and you will be less likely to relapse. So in this week, what I want you to do is each time you watch porn, reduce the intensity. You don't have to do every single step, but these are the steps of intensity in my opinion. Obviously depending on what exactly is on them, but use your common sense and always aim for less and less intense pornographic material. So you start with the usual hard stuff that you watch. Then you go back to vanilla kind of pornographic material, and then you go and move down to GIFs, and then you will move down to solo person, so there is no sexual contact with another person. And then you go down to no sex, no masturbation, nothing like that, just a solo naked person. And then you go down to pictures of a naked person. And then you go down to not even a naked person, no sex, not a sexual setting. And then the final stage is basically nothing. You are just using your fantasies. And I guess there is a stage below that where you don't even use your fantasy, but yeah, you don't need to go all the way down, but I want you to reduce your level of intensity of porn that you watch during the week. Every time go lower. So this will take you 1 or 2 weeks, but I want you to get to a point where you're only looking at pictures. That is a really good place to be. That is how people in the past have watched porn in a more healthy manner than now, watching high quality streaming videos of porn. Obviously, if you watch porn during this time outside of scheduled time, or if you watch porn that is more intense than before, start over at the start of week 3. And then week 3 and week 4 is truly just about reducing the intensity of porn that you are watching. Now let me be clear, if you are already on NoFap, if you feel very, very confident that you are able to do this, you do not have to stretch this period out of reducing frequency and reducing intensity. This is a blanket for everybody. This is a template that you can customize a little bit, and here is how I recommend you to do that. If you are on NoFap, if you have already started your journey of quitting porn, you should start from week 5. If you have just relapsed or relapsed very recently, I want you to start from week 3, where you will have to schedule your porn usage and reduce the intensity. Basically, at that point, the only thing that you want is go below porn and just look at pictures. Then you move on to week 5. If you are a porn addict, if you are completely full-blown, as I've said earlier, you should double the duration of week 1 and don't expect to get to week 4 super easily. You shouldn't expect, if you're a full-blown addict watching porn multiple times a day, to be able to quit just like this. Yes, you will struggle even doing this program, but at the end of this program, you will actually heal, unlike NoFap, where you will just keep relapsing and relapsing, and God knows how long it will take you to figure out your own way and what you exactly have to do to learn stuff like impulse control, which you can learn on week 2, and to learn stuff like reducing intensity makes quitting easier. This is why this program is superior to NoFap. At the end of week 4 or at the very start of week 5, you need to schedule your final FAP, where you are going into the session with the knowledge and with the feeling that this is it. It has to be very clear. This is the last time. And you cannot use any porn, obviously. You can only use, worst case, a naked person or a clothed person, or better yet, just your imagination. After you have done this, immediately I want you to uninstall all social media from your phone. This can include your messaging apps such as Instagram, but you don't have to delete every single messenger app. You just have to delete the ones that can also cause you to binge on your phone for hours and hours. So for example, if you have Facebook on your phone, delete that. But if you have Facebook Messenger on your phone, you can obviously keep that. And when it comes to Instagram, obviously you have to delete it. And unfortunately, you will have to tell your Instagram group chats that, hey guys, I'm taking a break from social media for 30 days. And after that 30-day period, you will be able to reinstall it, but you will never want to click on the reels. You will never want to look at the feed or anything like that. When I have done this exercise, I realized that the friends that I only chat with on Instagram aren't really friends, and I just kind of stopped talking to them because they were just sending me memes, which is really fun, but I realized it's kind of pointless when you look at the grand scheme of things. My friends will show me memes anyway, and also I can just look at memes. If I schedule it beforehand, I can just look at memes for like half an hour or something at night before going to bed, for example. So week 5 is the week that you will start implementing all of the habits. Now it's all out war against porn addiction, and it's all up to you to use these tools for recovery. Obviously, if you're struggling with porn addiction, if you need an accountability partner, you need somebody to give you personalized feedback, or you need somebody to give you even a personalized plan, check out my coaching services and consider them. The link is in the top of the description. So naturally, after quitting porn, you will experience some urges, you will experience a little bit of craving. So now you will want to use suffering during workouts or other hard stuff. Also, on top of this, you want to do journaling, and you want to do the breathing exercises, you want to do the meditation, basically everything that we have talked about so far. And at this point, you will want to implement the habit tracker to a more full extent, measuring your sleep and wake times, and also measuring all of the habits and taking accountability for doing or not doing the habits. If you want to have the best chance at a successful recovery, you want to do all of the habits every single day. If you skip a day or if you skip a habit, it's not gonna make you relapse, but you will have a smaller chance of success. So I would say with all of the habits and everything done right, you should have about a 90 to 100% success rate if you are persistent enough. Obviously, setbacks can happen, but the week 5 and week 6 is really about focusing on doing the right habits. If you do the right habits, you will not relapse. So yes, journal, do your meditations every day, do breathing exercises multiple times a day, and you do workouts where you actually suffer and you feel proud of yourself for completing it. Where do hard workouts where it's not obvious that you're gonna be able to finish, and yet you finish, and yet you can do it. And after you have done that, you will find yourself in week 6. So week 6 is you do daily meditation and breathing session and all the habits that you are doing beforehand. But you will also implement something that is very important in your recovery process, which is you need to learn to breathe right before, or if you were surprised by it, right after any stressful or triggering situation. So let's say you're triggered by your little brother because he does something to upset you or makes you very anxious or something like that. So what you do is, if you know that you're going to meet him and he is very likely to trigger you, you will do breathing exercises before. And if you are surprised by his visit, let's say he visits you and he triggers you, you do breathing exercises the first thing that he leaves. Also, while doing your daily journal, every time mention what actually triggers you, what makes you stressful, and what environmental situation is causing you to feel depressed, stressful, or triggered in any other way. Like, for example, living in the red light district would be probably an environment that would trigger you. For example, having a crush on a neighbor would probably be triggering. I want you to journal on this and obviously create a list of triggers. This will be very useful in the future when you will learn to disable these triggers completely. And keep in mind, the reasons that pop up in this week and the next week are most likely the reasons why you have trouble quitting porn, why you keep watching porn. These things will be most likely connected to the underlying issue that keeps you addicted, that keeps you watching porn and returning to porn, even though you know that is bad for you. And you can also like fantasize or think about how you should change these things in the future if you want. You don't have to, but also it's a nice thing because later on week 8, you will be working on this and you will be actually making changes. So, congratulations, if you finish week 6, you are in the finish line. Basically, if you fail week 5 or week 6 and you feel like you got this, like you can actually attempt it again and it will go even better, you should restart from week 5. However, if you fail, if you watch porn or masturbate during week 5 or week 6 and you feel defeated and you feel unmotivated to continue, restart from week 3. Now, welcome to week 7. This week, what you will have to do to further your process of recovery during this 8-week program is you have to use your journal, not just to journal your urges and your triggers, but also to review your day, review your morning routine, and review how you do your work during the day. Where did you do something that you didn't intend to do? For example, you had a nap that you didn't want to take, and why was that, for example? And as you, at this point, shouldn't really be experiencing cravings when you look at a normal woman, or at least not experiencing immediate craving, I want you to journal about any good-looking girls that you saw. What did you think? Like, did you have a calling to go to her, but did you feel anxiety, for example? Or did you just not know what to say? That's another good example. Write this down, and if you didn't see any girls, obviously write like, I didn't see anyone. And this way you will extend this journal to be a little bit longer, but it will not just help you with specific porn recovery, but it will help you to transcend your porn habits and start focusing on the other things that are now available to you because you have this extra energy that you can use to make your day better incrementally every single day, and to think about like, okay, have I seen any good looking girls? What should I have done? What did I do? And look, if you're not looking for a girlfriend, if you feel like you have more potential, you can be more muscular, you can become wealthier or more experienced, you don't have to get a girlfriend. You don't have to riz the chicks or cold approach and talk to girls in a romantic manner. You just have to acknowledge that you are interested in this or that girl, and you also have to acknowledge what have you done and what have you not done and how did it make you feel. That's very important as well. So yeah, write about any girls that you have seen and you found them memorable. And at this point you can implement a digital habit tracker, and I will make a video on this very soon. It's in a Notion. I have a Notion and I do this habit tracker, and it is a lot better than a paper tracker because you can set goals based on, okay, I want to do an average of this and that per month. I want to complete this habit at least 92% per month, stuff like this. You cannot do that easily on a paper tracker unless you're good at math. I'm not good at math. So another thing that you need to do on week 7 is implement Google Calendar. And you need to map your sleep, you need to map your habits, so when you exactly do your habits, and you need to map your work or school schedule and any extracurricular activities that you do, like hobbies and stuff. So the calendar doesn't have to be filled up, but you have to have on it your sleep time, and your time that you do your habits, and then the time that you do your work. And this is an amazing entrance to another part of life that is super important, which is time management. And with time management, you will be able to kind of accelerate. It's kind of like a boost you will have. I'm not sure if you have seen these like Fast and Furious movies. They have this nitrous and it makes the car go a lot faster. That is basically Google Calendar. So on week 8, keep the habits and rename your journal to Daily Journal. Prepare and schedule to do the 75 Hard Challenge. And you don't have to do it right away. Actually, I recommend you to schedule it 1 or 2 weeks ahead. Or it depends on what time you are at in the year. You can kind of think about this strategically. It is 75 days of hard work. So if you're just before Christmas or New Year's, you might want to start at 1st or 2nd or 3rd of January. Or if you're in the middle of summer and you have a party coming up, you can start right away after that. And you don't have to do the 75 hard challenge, but you have to do a challenge that is similar to the 75 hard. I recommend the 75 hard challenge because it is easily the best one out there, and it has been proven by so many people to help people reset their lives. But in order to do 75 hard, you have to do this 8-week process first, because 75 hard does not help your porn addiction or porn habit. You have to start doing the basic habits that you need in order to keep recovering, and then you can put on the weight, the pressure, the stress of the 75 hard challenge. And it is really, really hard to do. So be prepared for that. It's not hard in a way hard workout is challenging. It is hard in a way that I don't think you have ever experienced before. I certainly haven't, and it has completely changed me as a man, and I hope it will do the same to you as well. So week 8 is about scheduling this 75 hard challenge, learning more about this, and obviously I'm not affiliated with these guys. I'm just somebody who this challenge has really helped. Yeah, so good luck. That is going to be a massive undertaking. And yeah, keep in mind that healing from porn takes ages, and you don't need to focus on specifically, oh, I don't have to watch, I cannot watch porn now, I cannot watch porn. Obviously, if you have changed your identity, you will not have this issue. And if you have some specific questions and specific situations, you can always come back to the Discord server where we have the questions channel and we have those weekly calls. So if anything comes up, like for example, I just made a video on having these micro thoughts that are repeating. For example, an object, let's say this phone case, is reminding you of a scene in a porn movie, and every time you see this phone case on your table, you think about that specific movie. And I just made a video on it, like how to stop that repeating negative thought. For example, a question like that, like, hey, how do I stop my repeating negative thought, would be a really good thing to ask on Discord. So let's say you're doing the 75 hard challenge and you're in like 3-4 days and you have this issue where you keep thinking about something specific and you have this negative repeating thought. Yeah, you can just ask that. I check the messages every single day and I will answer it. Also, you have the weekly calls where we can just do Q&A. And yeah, we don't have to talk about porn at all. So yeah, talk about whatever is relevant to you. And guys, before starting the 75 hard challenge, you will have only one thing to do. Create a strategy on how to change your environment that has held you back and made you watch porn before. How can you change it? The possibilities that can be realistically done right now, and what are the possibilities that can be realistically done in 1 to 2 years. So for example, moving out, rearranging your room furniture, buying clothes that aren't like baggy shorts or whatever. Yeah, these types of environmental changes. Moving to a library 5 times a week to study instead of studying at home. That is also an example. Now, during 75 hard, you will probably not have as many temptations or urges as before. But if you don't do the habits that are in this program during the 75 hard and later, you might find yourself no longer recovering, and then over time you might start watching porn again. You can come back to this program every time, but this is a very important thing, to not stop doing the habits and to not stop tracking the habits. Because if you see that you're not doing the habits, that you know, hey, I have to do the habits. If I don't do them, I have a higher likelihood of watching porn again. And also, if you're not going outside, as we have talked about it before, you will also have a higher likelihood of relapsing because of the anxiety and the depression that comes with that. But we have talked about this in the previous part of the guide. Yeah, so guys, this is the 8-week blueprint that is for everyone, and it is for the normal person who is habitually watching porn, maybe a little bit addicted as well, and it will help you control your impulses, and it will help you to make sure that your brain is healed. After these 8 weeks, your brain will not be fully healed. It will take about 1 to 2 years to achieve that. However, if you don't stress on it, you will not have major urges. And on top of that, even if you do, my friend, you can always come and talk to us on Discord. You can chat to us on Discord. And if you feel like it, check out my coaching program below, where I create personalized plans like this one, but specific to somebody. So you come here, we talk, and I create a plan for you, and we together go through your plan. I will hold you accountable for what you promise, and I will also give you personalized feedback on, hey bro, you probably shouldn't do that, or hey, if you do meditation this way instead of that way, you can achieve better results. Hey bro, you shouldn't do meditation at night, you should do it in the morning, stuff like this. Yeah, and because I am an experienced coach, I coached over 3 years, I am kind of able to resonate with people in a way that makes it a little bit easier to understand these types of processes and the habits, how to exactly do them. And anyway, yeah, so if you are in need of that, or if you would like to use that, and there is a lot more nuance to this, but unless you have a very specific issue, this is all that you must know in order to successfully quit porn. Now, if you have some specific questions on how to completely make your porn addiction disappear, or if you are having issues with something, check out my channel. I have a lot of specific videos on specific topics. For example, this negative feedback loop, on how to make the negative feedback loop disappear. And also you are welcome to join our weekly Q&A call, where we just chat about stuff, porn related or not porn related, just life stuff, like working out, like girls, like socializing. It's not enough to just watch this video. You must always follow through. I'm out.